Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Live and Leash programme. It's our St. Patrick's Day special. We have a few familiar faces in this evening with us, some not so familiar, but it's great. We'll be one big happy family this evening. And of course, speaking of familiar faces, I am delighted to be joined by Paul O'Brien from the High Kings. Paul, how are you?
How are you, John? Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, as always, a pleasure. And congratulations on the new album.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You were telling me off camera that you have it there in your hands.
I have, yes.
Brilliant. Home from home.
Home from home.
And I have to say, you're all looking very dapper in black. The men in black.
Men in black, yes.
So, Paul, take us through the process. How long did it take, and where did you record it, and did the dreaded pandemic cause problems?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it took a full week to record it. It was recorded in a place called Concert Deck, down in Wicklow, a place called Kilcool. It was a bit strange going in, seeing everybody with masks on, and we normally shake hands or give a hug or a high five, but that was all done away with. So it was a bit strange, but we got through it. You had to just look at your surroundings, keep your distance, and we had to do what we had to do, and we got it done.
Yeah, and for mic checks and for instrument checks, that must have added a layer of complication, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there was lads there, like they were doing the sound checks. We, during the sound checks, we were wearing our masks as well, because we had to, and we were wearing gloves as well. Not when we were playing, of course, but when when we were starting off and getting used to what we were doing, we had the masks and the gloves, and we had to stay our distance as well. But we got through it. Everybody worked their little bit, and it was great. We enjoyed it.
Great. Now, do you have any special favorite tracks on the album, Paul?
I've always loved the one that I'm actually singing myself. The first time I heard it was a lady by the name of Dolores Keane from Galway. It's a song called Caledonia. It's always been a favourite of mine. But I also like Summer in Dublin, which Darren does an amazing job. As you know, it's a Liam Riley classic, and poor Liam passed away there not too long ago. But it's a song that will stand the test of time. But then there's other classics on there, like The Dutchman, The Streets of London, Ralph McTell's song. There's some great songs on it. It's a strong album, to be honest.
Yeah, very, very strong album. I was looking through the songs on it. There must have been a lot of very, very strong songs that didn't make the final cut.
There was, because the idea of this album was we were trying to get songs with cities in the lyrics, or a country, would say like the green fields of France. Obviously it's about France. Caledonia was about Scotland. Summer in Dublin, obviously about Dublin. Streets of London, Streets of New York, City of Chicago, the Galway races. The Wild Colonial Boy represents Australia, and then there's another song called Farewell to Nova Scotia. There was a couple of cities left out, all right, but we just had to pick our best.
Yeah, you've travelled around a lot of the world there.
Yeah. No, it's great. No, they're strong songs. We're very happy with the way it came out. We're delighted with it.
Yeah. And when did you wrap recording the album, Paul?
It was done last year. It was done last year during the pandemic as well, of course. We had to drive up and down to Wicklow, but we had our passes or covered just in case we were stopped, and that just to show that we are essentially, this is what we're doing, but we were never stopped. So thank God everything went rosy.
Yeah, you're definitely essential workers. All the bands are. It's great. It must have been great for you to get out of the house.
Yeah, it was great seeing the lads. Yeah, it was great seeing the lads again. For just that couple of hours that you were, say, recording, you just forget about everything. Yeah. It's not till you get back in the car and drive home again, oh yeah, we're still in the pandemic. But for that couple of hours, you forget about it,
Yeah. Music, like sport, kind of transports you to a better place. Absolutely. I always find.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And had that, like, how long had it been since you'd seen the lads last?
We went to America the 18th of February last year. We were going for 8 weeks. We were 4 weeks in. We had 40 shows to do. We got 20 done. Next thing we heard on the news that this pandemic, but to be honest, we didn't really know how serious it was. It was only as the days were going by and it was on the news more, and saying, God, this is actually getting serious here. We're going to have to, we're going to have to stop here and make a call or, do something. So because they would have been clamping down on airports. So instead of doing 8 weeks, we done 4 weeks. So we flew out the 18th of February and we were back home the 16th of March. So there's only 4 weeks.
Yeah, because I remember Paul, you saying that when you were last on, and then you had to go your separate ways. So
That's
you're
right.
going from the band environment and you're all together, band of brothers, and then you're scattered to the four winds.
That's it, yeah. And you don't know how long for, that was a strange thing.
Yeah, strange. And of course, we still don't know,
No,
to be
that's
honest,
it,
Paul.
yeah.
We still don't know how long for.
Yeah,
but,
we're 1 year in and we're still in the same boat,
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for live music venues, and it's live. It's very, very hard for the venues and the bands.
Yeah. We're
Very
all in
tough.
the same boat, yeah.
Absolutely. And the band, have you any plans for the near future? Are you going to have another album?
Yeah, we have a couple of things in the pipeline, John. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully, once May comes now, we'll sit down and we'll talk about a few things that we have in the pipeline again, and hopefully get going again. And by then, maybe all the vaccines might be rolled out. Please God.
Yeah.
They're a bit slow at the moment, so hopefully, again, then they'll be nearly finished. Hopefully.
Yeah, and tell me, while I have you, Paul, are you an electric picnic man?
I was never at it, believe it or not. No, I was never at it.
Yeah,
I heard it's great crack. Yeah, great crack.
Yeah.
I would like to
heard
go.
it. Yeah. And do you think now? Put on your positive hat there. Do you think it'll go ahead this year?
My heart is telling me yes, but my head is telling me no.
Yeah.
I can't. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was amazing there in New Zealand. There was it last week. Crowded House were playing in New Zealand.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it was just a packed arena. No masks, no nothing. It was great to see it actually.
I know. I was green with envy. I love Crowded House.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. They're so far ahead of us.
They
so far ahead of us.
They are, yeah.
They really are. They really are. And there comes. Oh, there's Arthur. Arthur, how are you this evening?
Hello, John. How are you?
Great.
I'm fine.
Yeah, good. Do you know Paul O'Brien from the High Kings?
No.
Yeah. So Arthur Broomfield.
Hello, Arthur. How are you doing?
Where is this Paul O'Brien? I can't see him.
Oh, you can't see him at all.
Wait till I make my screen bigger.
Oh yeah.
Now there he is.
Can you see him?
Yeah,
there he is.
Yeah. The High Kings.
The High Kings. They have an album out there, Arthur.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Actually, great breeding behind you. Anyway.
Absolutely. And Arthur, you have a book out recently.
Yes, I have. Ireland Calling is the name.
Yeah. Now, where did you get the title from, Arthur?
Oh, I just got the inspiration.
It wasn't the rugby. It wasn't the rugby that inspired you, was it? No. Ireland's Call.
No, actually, or wasn't Dr. Goebbels either. I can assure you. No, the other fellow wasn't the fellow over from Wicklow or Galway during the war. Germany calling.
Oh, Mr. Joyce.
Joyce, the very man. No, it wasn't him.
No. It wasn't him. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. No. You don't want to be inspired by the dark side.
No. Well, sometimes. Yeah. But really, I suppose the poems I wrote in this, two-thirds of the poems in this are kind of relating, and often through the voice of the diaspora, in North America. So I suppose the book is something like that: Ireland calling them, or Ireland calling me to write about them, or whatever. yeah.
So it's like, is it a poetic hug for the Irish diaspora?
Something like that. Yeah, something
Very
like that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the diaspora, I had a lady WhatsApp me today. Any chance you could share her sister's video? Oh, sorry, her cousin's video. And where's the video? It was the Irish in Britain Facebook page. So I was very, very happy to share that. Yeah, and her dad emigrated back a long, long time ago from Strabo, and she was wearing her Laois jersey. I must reshare the post again, wearing the Laois jersey and talking really well about her Laois ties and her roots in the county and her father. So it's especially, I always feel around St. Patrick's Day, the diaspora, they kind of want to feel close to Ireland, or closer than they normally are.
Oh yeah, and they do feel it, very strongly, especially the ones in North America. I have some great contacts there now since I wrote the book. I'm getting quite good sales in Canada, very good in Canada, relatively speaking. A good contact there, a lady in Brockville in Ontario, and she's actually from Westmeath, and she set up she's the driving force behind the Irish community there, and she's great. Ethna Dunbar is her name, and now I've built up very good contacts after hard trying with the Irish Business Organization Network in New York City, to a lady there whose first name is Eileen. I can't just, at the top of my head, I just can't, but I've been in great contact with her.
Not only are you a poet, Arthur, you're a master networker.
Well, I've been flung into it. You see, in my business career as a seller of poetry books all around Ireland, cold coffee at Emo Court, I sold 2,200 of them. Hard to believe. I used to sell about between 50 and 70 a week out for 3 days. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I was in every town and village in Ireland with it. Yeah, got great receptions. Yeah, fantastic time. Met lovely people,
Brilliant.
Beautiful people.
Brilliant.
Yeah, lovely time. But in my travels, I met this lady in Cashel, and she said, "Why don't you join our business network?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And we meet every Friday morning now on Zoom, and it was from there. And I was bemoaning the fact that I couldn't get out selling my book, because of the COVID. And some of the guys said, "Well, why don't you try the internet and, don't be sitting around, hanging around, moaning about it. Get on with it, So to give me the inspiration. And then I sat down and I wrote those poems in about a month,
Well done, Arthur. Well done.
So anyway, that's me. Yeah.
So you have your latest book of poetry, Paul with the High Kings, an album. And I'm delighted to be joined. We're joined this evening by a new face for the Alive in Laois programme. Ali Comerford. Ali, how are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yes, and it's great to have you because in the confusion of trying to get you on, we actually reached out to your sister.
Yeah, she sent me this message and she said, "I don't think they want me to come on and sing."
And can she not sing, no?
Oh, she can. She's a beautiful singer, but I think it would be out of her comfort zone because she's a librarian.
That's right. But you're a talented family.
Yeah, well, she actually writes beautiful poems.
Now, Arthur, another contact for you.
Yeah, lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
Where is she living? Where is she?
Just out past Freshford.
Oh yes, it's a great Kilkenny name, Comerford.
Yeah. Yeah.
A hurling name.
Oh yeah.
It is. Yeah. So we've poetry. We've more poetry. I mean, basically, has your sister published?
She hasn't, no, but I keep pushing her to try and do it, but she's a bit of a perfectionist, so she will never let anything go until she thinks it's right, and it's never right,
It's never right. And Ali, Paul has his album, Arthur has his latest book of poetry. Have you anything that you're producing?
Yeah, I just released my debut single, and it's called He Knows, and I'll have my debut album releasing in July.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Would you care to sing for us, Ali?
Yeah, of course.
What are you going to sing?
Well, I thought I would sing the single, seeing as it's, it's a good idea. And then I was going to sing Shularoon because St. Patrick's Day.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. But the single, what is there a story behind it? Where did the inspiration come from, Ali?
Oh, Jeannie. It's a bit of it's like the end of a relationship was where it came from. But yeah, it's not all doom and gloom, I think.
When all I feel is taken from, I look for you, I look for you. You make me feel like I belong. Of course you do with things you do, but boy, he knows, and that's why I can't stay. I couldn't have it any other way, 'cause boy, he knows. Cause boy, he knows. They swarm around you like the sun. Of course they do, their dreams come true. But suns will set before too long, and mine was due as if on cue. I've rolled and picked the game I'd like to play. I've placed my bets, and that's the price I'll pay. 'Cause boy, he knows. Cause boy, he knows. Cause boy, he knows. Cause boy, he knows. Oh, but there must be a way out of this maze that I've been working on. But I've built the wall so high with doubt. Do I keep on building till he's gone? It's flashing a warning. Pretend it's not burning. When all I feel is taken from, I look for you, I look for you. You make me feel like I belong. Of course you do with things you do, but boy, he knows, and that's why I can't stay. I couldn't have it any other way, 'cause boy, he knows.
Ali, that was super. Paul, what did you think of that?
Beautiful song.
Oh,
Beautiful.
thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very well sang.
And it was very, it was very mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Lovely song.
It was very, very mellow, I have to say. And is Arthur still muted? He is. Yeah, and you were talking about a breakup of a relationship, Ali. So I was prepared for something a bit darker, but that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah, well, sometimes even with bad things, you can get something nice out of them. So,
well, that's a wonderful philosophy and outlook on life to have. And I mean, Ali, have you been singing and writing songs for long?
Yeah, like I have personally been doing it for a long time. I'm actually a violinist and violist. That's my job. But I've never shared my own music. I suppose it's like one of those really personal things that I didn't really have the courage to do until now. So
for example, is this the first time you've done something like this?
Yeah.
No way, the very first time.
I did one at the beginning of lockdown, But yeah, this will be like my second one.
Oh, wow. Well, well, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to listen in. Really, really appreciate it. And of course, the poetry doesn't start, or should I say, stop with your sister, because I mean, the lyrics were beautiful.
Oh,
Arthur, are you jealous there?
Oh, I'm madly jealous, you know, and beautiful lyrics and a beautiful voice.
Oh,
you know?
thank you very much.
For some reason, and you know, I can't put a finger on it, but you remind me of Nancy Griffith, you know.
Oh, that's a compliment.
I don't know what, maybe it's your voice. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Actually, when you say that, yes, you do remind. What about you, Paul? She definitely reminds me as well of Nancy Griffith.
Oh yeah, beautiful voice, beautiful soft voice.
Yeah.
Really carried that song off great now.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
That began here, John.
Well, hopefully. I mean, what we're doing is having a chat, and if we can help sell your albums or poetry books or singles, all the better. All the better.
Good thing to do.
Well, absolutely. You're just helping. You're helping other people. But I'm just curious now, having listened to Ali, Arthur, would you be keen on having your poetry sung and turned into music?
Yeah, I'd love that. But I suppose my poems are more ballady than what Ali is doing. Actually, I have discussed it with oh gosh, his first name, Mr. Fitzpatrick up the road here. The a good friend of mine, and you know, this is what old age does for you. But he writes all his own songs, and it's kind of a Shan Nose singer, actually. Ballads, and in the Irish tradition of the ballad, you know. So we kind of chatted about it, and I sent him a copy of the book, and hopefully I have a plan that when eventually this lifts, we'll get a launch going and have Paddy Fitzpatrick maybe singing a song or that I turn them into music, you know, turn my poems into songs.
That would be wonderful.
It's one of the hopes.
That would be wonderful. I know it'll all happen. We have to be positive.
And of course, Ali is welcome. Ali is welcome too.
Thanks.
And what about Paul? Are you not going to invite?
Oh God, yeah.
This is it.
It's getting embarrassing now.
Not at all.
I actually know Paddy Fitzpatrick.
You know Paddy?
I know Paddy well.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he has a couple of CDs out himself, actually.
That's right. That's right. He's a big launch up in the pub here in Ballyfin, the Dead Man's.
In the Dead Man's.
Yeah.
John Whelan was organising it more or less, you know.
Oh yeah, John. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it was a great night. Yeah, that was in the. Oh, it was a nice kind of was it an August night kind of, you know, and it was lovely. And we're all sitting around, the whole Ballyfin and Clonaslee, wasn't that, as we were all there for Paddy, you know. And then when I launched my previous book, the Giant's Footsteps at the Rock of Dunamace in the library in Portlaoise, we had Paddy in as well, and he sang a few of his songs. So good all night. Yeah, he's good.
Very good.
Paddy's,
can you remember some of the songs Paddy sang?
No. He'd one about a car, an old car he had, you know, one time, and he was and another one about he worked on the bog, you know, and all about the place names of where the Bog of Allen, all around from Lullymore down the road here in Ballyfin, in Irie.
In Irie.
Yeah.
Because Ali, just to explain, Arthur is living in Irie, Ballyfin.
Okay.
And last weekend we had Arthur's almost next door neighbour on, Maureen Culleton.
Yeah. She's actually going to be next door neighbour now again, because she's moved back to her old house. Yes. Into the
Shan Kishton.
The Shan Kishton, yes.
The Shan
Maureen's great. Maureen's great, isn't she? Yeah.
She is. She's an absolute wonderful, wonderful woman. She's a one-off.
Oh, she's incredible, you know.
Yeah, she's so positive and so lively.
as she says herself, she's doing what she loves doing, and
yeah,
you're more likely to get her in Tokyo or Chicago or Newfoundland or New York than you are in Irie Belafin.
That's right.
Pre-COVID, but of course
pre-COVID.
Yeah,
but again, with technology, she's reaching out to her network, like yourself, Arthur.
Oh,
like yourself. And Ali, did you mention you're going to sing another song, a ballad?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love it. We could stay all night listening to you.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea to do something Irishy. I can't have it and not. Okay, will I go for it?
Oh, go for it, Ali. Brilliant. You're great.
Oh, I wish I was on yonder hill. It's there I sit and cry my fill, and every tear would turn a mill. It's good day to Morning Slong. Shul, shul, shul a room. Shul go soccer, agus shul go cue. Shul go there's agus alien. It's good day to Morning Slong. I would sell my rock and I would sell my reel. I'd sell my only spinning wheel to buy my love a sword of steel. It's good day to Morning Slong. Shul, shul, shul a room. Shul go soccer, agus shul go cue. Shul go there's agus sail along. It's good day to Morning Slong. Oh, it now my love has gone to France. It's there his fortunes to advance. If we meet again, 'twill be by chance. It's good day to Morning Slong. Shul, shul, shul a room. Shul go soccer, agus shul go cue. Shul go there's agus sail along. It's good day to Morning Slong.
Oh my word.
Well done. Lovely.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And I have to say, I'll admit it here live on air, I had never heard that song before.
Oh, really? It's one of my favorites.
Well, I can see why. Yeah, beautiful. Beautifully sung. And again, you have a wonderful, I won't call it mellow, but it's almost hypnotic.
Well, that's good.
Paul, have you ever heard that song?
No, actually, never heard that song. Who actually sang it, or who was the original?
I have no idea. I actually found it when I found this really old book, and it actually had it written out. It just had the music and the lyrics written, so that's how I learned it. But I think a good few people have done it. I just decided to do my own version from this book, and I've kind of run with that.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Ali, I don't feel so bad now because Paul hadn't heard of it either.
That's good. You're off the hook then.
Absolutely. Arthur, had you heard of it?
No, but I think I have heard it. It's struck off something in there. Maybe Maureen. Yeah. We used to do Irish, trying to pick up on the Cúpla Focal down in the Shan Kishton. And Maureen would have us singing a song, it was very good, really, because we were picking up some new words in Irish. Some of the words we'd forgotten, and we were all very poor. I can tell you, at the Irish. But
You're admitting to being a poor student, Arthur.
Poor student, and a long gap between the time I had any inkling or any notion at all of speaking it until now, until last year, and kind of working away on it now. You know, when I have a tape in the car and picking up as I go along, some of it's coming back to me. You know, it's been a long time. You know,
it's a long time. Yeah, but have you ever been tempted to write poetry in Irish?
I sure wouldn't be able to. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to sometime, but I just wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have the language, you know, not yet, but you never know.
Not yet, but a couple of more lessons with Maureen and you'll be flying.
A couple of more, yeah. I suppose it could be done, but it could be done by working it, you know, but it wouldn't be genuine then, would it? You know, you've got to feel it, you know.
You've got to feel it in your core.
Yeah,
in your soul.
The late Michael Hartnett was great. He went back to writing poems in Irish.
Any other poets, Arthur, that you looked out for or looked up to?
In English?
In English, yes.
Oh yeah, plenty of them. Yeah, God, where do you start? Keats and Wallace Stevens, Yeats, Patrick Kavanagh, whom I adore. You know.
Yeah, me too.
He's Ireland's favorite.
Me too.
Ireland's favorite poet. You know, no matter what they say about other poets.
Yes, well, he's Ireland's, I think, most underrated poet, but that's for another day. We won't get into an argument tonight.
No.
That's for another day.
I love some of the women poets as well. Elizabeth Bishop and Sylvia Plath. I adore her.
Yes.
Emily Dickinson, way ahead of her time. You know, she's up there with Beckett. You know.
Yes, she's pushing boundaries.
Yeah, fantastic.
Pushing boundaries all the time.
And they haven't caught up with her yet, the critics. You
know? No. Way ahead of her time.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul, have you ever sung in Irish?
Not really, no. Or Roshé de Vahawalia is probably the only song.
Is that
it?
Yeah. And would you be tempted?
Yeah. Well, the lyrics it's just a matter of learning the lyrics, really. It's no problem.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Once you know the right pronunciations of the words.
Yes.
It's no problem.
You might be going back to the men now and the High Kings are going, look, we're going to have to not deliver a set in Irish, but at least one song. I won't push the envelope. I won't get you to sing a one set. No, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. Yeah. And Ali, do you sing any other ballads in that melodic way, in that melodic strain?
I'm sure I do. I just can't think of any off the top of my head at the minute. That's like my go-to party piece, that song, if I have to play something.
Very good. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, people they'll be deep in thought listening to you.
Yeah. See, I'm more comfortable with the violin in my hand.
Yeah, tell us about that. Were you in an orchestra?
So I've been freelancing for I've been living abroad for the last 11 years. So I was in London for 7 and New York then after. And I freelanced with chamber groups. So in quartets and quintets, playing mostly classical. So that's been my livelihood and it's been great. I've loved it. But I was on tour in the Caribbean when the pandemic hit. And I had to come home because I was in the middle of nowhere. I was meant to be out there for 4 months and I came home and then obviously I haven't left. And it was interesting for me because I had to try and find a different way, obviously, to make a living. So I had always been songwriting on the side and I had just finished recording the album and I actually got a job as a songwriter, writing personalized songs for people. So that's kind of my job at the minute. It's like I get sent like things for birthdays or weddings or whatever. and I have to write all these personalized songs for people. So.
Oh, wonderful. And
yeah.
you send the completed song over, the file?
Yeah.
And then do the customers follow up and request a Zoom performance? Like one we're getting tonight?
Not yet.
Well, I can imagine that's going to happen very, very shortly, Ellie.
Yeah, currently I'm working for a company, so I never work directly with the client. So I never get to know anything that happens with them, but I'd actually love to. I've written some bizarre songs, so I'd love to know where they ended up.
Yeah, it would be great to actually match the song with the person.
Definitely. I'd love that.
That's amazing. I hadn't heard of that before.
Neither had I. It was a Google search that helped me find it, because I was sitting here not knowing what to do with myself, you know, like everything I was doing was performance and playing concerts, and suddenly it's all gone.
All gone.
So, you know, I had to find a new way around it, I guess.
Yeah, but you're not alone, because Paul was in the very, very same situation last March.
Yeah.
Paul, you were only a couple of weeks into your US tour, and then boom.
Yeah, it was an 8-week tour, and we only got 4 weeks into it. We had 40 shows, and we got 20. We were actually lucky to get 20 done. And then we had to come back because we were starting to clamp the airports, and it was getting a bit serious at that stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as we were going along on the tour bus and that, we were looking at the news. But in our heads, I don't think we were really sure how serious it was. You know, and then sure, look at, according as the news went on, said, look, we have to get out here.
I get that.
Yeah.
At one stage I thought I might ride it out in the Bahamas. I was like, maybe I'll rent a house here because I'm sure it won't last long. And I'm glad I didn't do that. Although it wouldn't be a bad place to be stuck, I guess.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Worse places.
Yeah, and I mean, and how soon after forced to come back from the Bahamas, did you say, okay, I can't be moping around the place, I have to actually go and do something?
Well, the first thing I started to do, and it happened actually 2 days after I got home, was I started setting myself targets that I had to write a song a week. And so I was using social media. I was posting up on Instagram these songs every week, because I'm not great at not doing anything. Do you know, especially when it comes to music, I have to do at least something. So I started on that, and then it was the beginning of August that I found the job. So wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so you weren't moping around at all. You took 2 days off.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know, because songwriting to me can be extremely indulgent. So I think it's a form of moping, you know.
Really? You don't feel that it's necessary that for your mental and physical well-being, you have to sing, you have to write songs?
Yeah, it doesn't, like, I don't think a day goes by where I don't touch at least one instrument. So for me, it's like a sense of comfort. That's like the thing I can control, is that I can play, even if I sit down, I play a few chords on the piano, or I pick up the guitar for a minute, or I pick up my violin or my viola. They're the things that like are within my control. So even when the whole world was changing, that was one consistent thing. So it was good for me.
No, it makes sense. Musicians have to play their instruments, sing their songs. It's like writers, poets, they have to write their poetry. I mean, it just makes sense. And do you have a favorite? I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have a favorite instrument?
Oh, I love the viola. I think when I started playing that, I felt like I had really found a voice. So that to me, I think might be my favorite. But then again, it depends on the day and the hour, I guess.
Yeah. And Paul, do you have a favorite instrument?
I don't. I actually love the low whistle. I love playing the low whistles and that, but I love playing bouzouki or guitar or mandolin or banjo the same. But I just love the low whistles on the song because it's so haunting. Just adds to it.
Adds to it, yeah. Adds to the atmospherics of the song.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Paul, you're going to wow all our viewers. How many instruments can you play?
Oh God, roughly 8, I think.
Wow. Ali, over to you. But not that it's a competition.
I think I lose in this one. I'd say comfortably I play 4. Violin and viola. 4.
Wow.
So half of what you can do.
Still good.
It's still very, very good. And Paul, again, putting you on the spot, would you have room for a viola player in the High Kings?
Oh no, I just love the sound of a fiddle actually, or a viola. I just love them, Just love it.
Well, if you ever need anyone, my schedule has opened up.
I think, Ali, everyone's schedule is opened up. We're all doing new things. We're all doing new things.
Yeah. Okay, so I happen to.
And Ali, you mentioned the album. Tell us more about the album.
So yeah, the album was recorded in February of 2020, and it's kind of it's 13 songs. And I had written those songs. Some of them were 8 years old. I'd written them over a span, I'd say, of 8 to 10 years. And yeah, I wrote and I recorded them all out in Crossroads Studio in Kilkenny with Shane Tobler there. And I played everything on the album. It was an important thing for me. So there's loads of strings. And yeah, that's very string heavy. And you got it done just in the nick of time, just before the pandemic, because Paul was mentioning earlier in the chat that they recorded their latest album, and of course they all had to be masked up and they had to keep their social distance and all that. Yeah,
it doesn't bear thinking about.
Yeah, I'm blessed I got it done when I did. Really, I am. And actually I have to say that over this year it's given me the time to do all the behind the scenes nitty-gritty things that actually it would have been very difficult to do while I was out playing all the time. So I've had the time to get the mixing and mastering done and the artwork, and I've got a brilliant PR company and working with them, and it's going well.
And Ali, I'm going to ask you what I asked Paul earlier in the chat. Do you have some favorite songs on the album?
Yeah, I definitely do. I have a song on the album called Mess, and it's piano and vocal song. And the reason I love it is we actually moved the studio out to my family home out in Jenkinstown and recorded my old piano there. And in the recording, you can hear the creaks and you can hear the pedals moving. And I love that. And to me, it's it captured everything I wanted it to, because it's not so clean. A lot of recordings these days are just so clean and so compressed that there's no life in them. And
maybe too clinical.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're trying to capture with music is really like an essence. It's like energy, and it's something important. And if you have everything very perfect, then what's the point? You could have got a computer to do it. So
absolutely, yeah.
I like things with character.
A bit of character goes a long way, Ali.
Yeah.
And do you have a second favorite track on the album?
That's tough. I wrote one, and it's called Come Home. And I think that might be my second favorite, just because it's like a lot of tremolo strings. It's a big sound, and it's the track that I learned to play the double bass for it, because I was just like, this, it has to have double bass on it. And because I had set this up in my head that I had to play all of the instruments, I had to go find a double bass and learn how to play it. So I think that's the one for me.
Yeah. This is it. Well, so the dog approves of your choice there. And have you ever played it on the guitar? Could you give us a verse? I know I'd be very cheeky. I'd be very cheeky now.
I'll give it a go. If I mess it up, I'm sorry.
No, you're very good. Thanks, Sally.
Irish on, no words to be said. Your bed's still made, your place is all set. You don't think it can be done, but they're willing you to. So move with grace, and this time come through. And come home, come home, come home. And come home, come home, come home. There you go. A little bit.
Very good. I love that. Again, very, very mellow.
Yeah.
Very, very mellow.
I think what I've been experimenting with at the minute is using a loop pedal. So when I perform live, I actually do play all the string parts that go with it. So I record all of the strings in a loop before I start playing, so that I can trigger them with my foot then when it goes. So it's maybe slightly less mellow when all the strings are going mad, but
yeah. I mean, I can picture it now, Ali, yourself, the High Kings, and basically, yeah, you're going to have to collaborate, and then with the poet, with Arthur in the house as well.
Exactly, yeah. Sounds great.
I can picture it, a launch of some description in Portlaoise after this is all over.
We'll do a bit of Leonard Cohen maybe, or something like that.
And Arthur, while I have you there, I mean, poetry, turning poetry into music. I'm thinking of Raglan Road. Can you think of any other great poems that have been turned into music? Or is there a poem out there that you really would love to see turned into music?
Oh God, you have me there.
I know. I'm terrible with these questions. As the Americans say, these curveballs.
And I never think when I'm reading poems, I never think of what's it be like if they were converted into songs, or if they were sung. I'd be looking at them for different things. I'd be looking at it for the music in the poetry, cadences and all that. Sometimes, but not always. Because some of them don't have it, that kind of harmony. But if you're looking more for, I think, I've come to this stage now in life and looking at paintings and, and reading poetry. It just boils down to one thing: how it hits you, whether you like it or you don't like it, and forget about the analysis and the philosophy and all that. Just you either like it or you don't like it. As a neighbor of mine, when I was growing up down in Tenerife, said about some other person who shall be named as both of them, of course. He either likes you or he doesn't like you.
Yes. It's like Marmite. There's no in between. You either love it or hate it.
No. And people go to awful rounds and literary critics and theorists about analysing poets' work, you know. And I'd say in 99 cases out of 100, the poet hasn't a clue what these guys are talking about, you know.
Yeah, yes. I mean, yeah, you should really just feel it. Feel the poetry, feel the music.
Just feel it. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you that way, it doesn't work. You know.
And Arthur, have you another couple of books in you? Are you working on something at the moment, or are you allowed to tell us?
I'm well allowed to tell you. Yeah, I'm trying to put a collection of short stories together. I've been working on short stories over the last 4 or 5 years, and they all need to be reworked and finished. You know, and I did a couple of workshops, courses with she's now a good friend of mine, Pauline Clooney. She's actually from Portlaoise, Nee Macpherson from Portlaoise, and she's a wonderful lady, and I'd love to give her a plug here for anybody who wants to write short stories. She lives up in Athgarvan now in Kildare. Kildare, I think she calls herself Kildare Writer Centre or something like that, but she's easily got.
Brilliant.
Easily found. Yeah. And she's a wonderful person, a wonderful tutor, you know, and I learned an awful lot from her. So I'm working on those, and hopefully, you know, it'll be a new departure for me. I have written short stories. I've had them published, but I'd like to get them, you know, like Ali was saying about her sister. I'd like to get them perfect, you know, before I come up with it. And then that could be my last will and testament, you know. 76 now, you know. No.
Well, you don't look it. You do not look it. How are you 76? You're telling more porcupines. You can't,
I wish I was.
You can't be lying like that to our viewers, Arthur. Oh, you can't be doing that. You're looking very, 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 very well for 76.
Thanks, John.
I think you've another 10 books in you. But there's something in the water or in the air up in Irie, Ballyfin. There's a lot of very, very talented people up there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's our time has come.
Absolutely. You're a creative.
Frances Harney is another very talented lady. Frances.
Yes, correct.
Maureen,
correct.
Paddy
Fitz. That's right.
And there's plenty more. And there's plenty more who you know, for sessions now and again. You know, they're great. They emerge, and you know, just.
You're a wonderful creative hope in the foothills of the Slieve Blooms, Arthur. I suppose
it all goes back to Finn McCool, doesn't it?
It goes back to Finn McCool. Absolutely. It goes back thousands and thousands of years. A wonderful lineage of poets and bards and singers. And now, Ali, speaking of future projects, have you another album in the offing?
Yes.
Oh, yippee! Go on, tell us all.
I'm going to try just get this album out first. But yeah, I've already started writing the next one, so we'll see how wonderful. That goes. Yeah.
Now, for our wonderful viewers here on the Live and Leash show, where can they get your album?
It's going to be across all platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and Bandcamp, the usual. For the album, I will make vinyl as well. At some stage, that'll be up on my social media for pre-orders. But yeah, that's
brilliant. And do we have long to wait for that?
In July, it will be the album. But before that, I have another single coming out in a month and a half, I think.
So it'd be May.
Yeah.
Beginning of May.
Yeah.
So another thing to look forward to.
Exactly. You know, have to space it out a bit. Can't give it all at once.
It'd be too much.
It'd be overwhelming, you know.
all that melody, and that's no.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great, and you're already working on another album. That's marvelous. And Paul, back to you. I'm sure I've asked you this already in the show this evening. Are you working on anything?
Yeah, we have this one, as I said. That's our new album.
Yes.
That's our
Home from Home.
Home from Home. So that was out. That came out the 5th of March. Paddy's night, we're actually doing a gig in Dublin, and our special guest is Chloe Agnew. Chloe is going to sing a couple of songs with us as well. Chloe is a daughter of Twink, as we all know, but she's a fantastic singer, beautiful singer. So then, please God, come May, we have a few things in the pipeline again. So hopefully we'll take off again.
Absolutely. But it's great to have these things to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it keeps you sane as well, keeps the mind active, and you look forward to doing things, even just getting out of the house and meeting up with the lads again, As I said earlier on, it's only, even though it may be only for a couple of hours, you forget about the pandemic, but just keeps you active. You forget about things, forget about all the terrible things for that couple of hours.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say, Paul, Arthur and Ali, it's been an absolute pleasure this evening.
Thanks, John.
I sprung a few surprise questions at you, but you dealt with it. You dealt with it beautifully. You didn't give out to me. You should have, really, to be honest. And to our wonderful viewers, I hope you loved the wonderful music and the chat this evening. And I hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day wherever you are around the world. And we especially this day of all days think of all our friends and family overseas. We are thinking of you. We'll see you soon. And to our viewers, have a wonderful day.